It's your sleepless god back with a new video of what if Midoriya was big chill. I know I did it with dramatics because why not? Well, you know what I said like last video, like you're gonna do this until I die? Yeah. Is it's fucking 18, like part 18. This is the longest running video that we have on this channel. Look back. It is the longest. 18 parts. You're going strong, boys. My goddamn, I'm a little scared. I might have to take a break, boys. I might have to take a break from this and do something else for a little bit and just see how that goes. I'm not saying like I'm not gonna put parts up. I'm just saying if you see another video come up, I'm tired. This has been a long, long time. But let's start the recap. Okay, I'll tell you this. If you guys get 2 likes and 40 views on this video, I'll instantly post next time, like tomorrow, instantaneously. Does not matter. Doesn't matter if I'm asleep. If you get 40 views and 2 likes on this video, I will literally post again. I know you guys can do it. I know you guys can do it. Do it for me. Do it for me. But last time we left off, Midoriya and Percy and Annabeth were basically helping other people doing what they can do with their quirks. Mostly Midori with the boys and Percy with the girls, and they're basically telling them how they can make themselves stronger. Telling like Kirishima to like work on making his entire body really hard and not just one part of it. And you can still work out. It's just not going to help you with your quirk. It's going to help you with your mental state and your battle strategy, obviously, but it won't help you with your quirk. Telling like Electric Denki to like work with his quirk a little bit, like only do like not like the full blast, just like spurts. And same with the Tell guy, picking up a weapon or learning and fighting style with your hands. You're working too much on your tail. You need to work with your hands. Uh, After that, they learned that Midoriya and I'm gonna say that a lot sometimes. Percy and Annabeth are inseparable. They have very similar like tests and everything. Like they're incredibly smart in their own ways, and also from like after like from like 7:50 all the way from 4 o'clock, they're open or close to open. Like they'll talk to you. You be like, yeah, we'll understand. Yeah, help you out. Blah blah blah. But anytime after that 4 o'clock period or before that 7:50 period, they're ghost. They are not there. They are disappear as they don't show up because that's their personal time. That's the time that they have for themselves and how they can help themselves. After that, we went to the USJ bus as they went to the USJ as they both saw the black hole woman, as she basically started explaining how you need to use your powers responsibly, don't try to kill someone, basically, as like Bakugo is not listening to this at all. As Percy looks down and sees a massive portal open and the Nomu enters and all the villains enter, but also the organization that was trying to kidnap Annabeth also enters the battlefield. As both Annabeth and Percy basically crack their knuckles and being like, time for fucking revenge. As they both fly down, as both of the teachers are like, stop! As they're like trying to get them to come back, but they're already down the field. As that's the last time we left off, let's start the video. As you see, Percy and Annabeth are just already down there and just below, like, Annabeth are basically freezing, like, their legs, and just most of them are getting knocked out by Percy Annabeth are freezing their legs though, so they don't move. As it's just this monster, like morale, like sorry, brutal royale of just like freeze your legs, boom, head punch by Percy, knocked out on the ground already, and just it's just a clean like knockouts through like at least I want to say 200 guys. They're around like 300 to 340 guys here. 200 of them are all knocked out by like I don't know the first 10 minutes. As Percy and Annabeth are basically like, really? That's it? What the fuck? As you're gonna make fun of me, but I always call him Handyman. I don't know his real name. I forget it sometimes. It's not a good memory. You hear it with the other characters and their nicknames. You'll hear it from me. They'll hear it from there too. But he walks out and he's like starts like yelling at him like you're ruining my plans. And he's like, bro, you're fucking like Percy just like shut the fuck up. Your guys are literally the most shittiest henchmen in the world. As like one of them like starts running up and try to punch him as like Annabeth just like the old like boom like hit him in the back like the Annabeth's trying to like someone trying to run off on Annabeth in the back and she does the old like hit from the behind trick with her fist and just knocks him out. He's like, come on, like literally, did you see that? Did you see that? Really? And you call us? What did you pay these guys? $3.50 an hour? What the fuck? What the hell is this? He's like, I pay them $7.50 an hour. Like that's not much better. It is. It's a good pay, kind of. Not really in Japan. Not these days. Not in this economy. As he's like, everyone, circle around them. As everyone starts circling around them, as he's like, as Annabeth's like, bro, as Smith's like, okay, so I'll deal with the left, you do with the right. As Percy's like, why don't I deal with the left, you deal with the right? Says Annabeth's like, no, there's more guys on the left. He says, exactly, that's why I want the guys on the left. He says, no, I'm dealing with the guys on the left, you'll deal with the guys on the right. He says, are we gonna get into an argument because I want more headcount? I want more headcount. It's like, you deal with the guys on the left before I deal with the guys on the right. You can join in. It's like, okay, that sounds like a good deal. As both of them like fist bump and just like Percy basically somersaults, freezes half of them, in just this simple like simpleness, turns intangible, flies down, goes through like 30 of them, basically freezes them all whole, stops in place, kicks one of them in the face, as does a double backflip, kicks like lands on two of them, knocking them out instantaneously, as like the other guys are like, what the fuck? As he's like, just freeze. As he just does like an instant just freeze over for the rest of them. As he flies over, as the other side is completely just frozen solid with these guys. As like Annabeth just walks up like this is like an ice like sculpture and like kind of like claws her nails against one as he just says, "You kind of slow," and he says, "Well, I wanted to do some entertainment a little bit, but as it is." As they're both kind of flying in the air a little bit, more like gliding, but they're like flying in the air and they're like both like looking down as like, I know his name. Gosh dang it. Keep on, dude, I call him Handyman too often. I need to remember his name. I'll remember it, but probably not. Who knows anymore? You can find myself out. But he's and is him and teleport guy, and they're both standing there and they're in shock. There's there was 340 of them, let's say. In the act of 15 minutes, they're all frozen, solid. As he looks over, they both look over, and he just says, "No, attack them." As Nomu just does this massive leap, and he tries to smash both of them, but they just both turn intangible and just like kind of disappear. As they both like Percy kind of just like chuckles, and he just says, "You know, if you want to send a beast at us, try to do one that's not just physical strength." As he freezes one of his arms, so like it slowly starts crawling up his forearm and freezes against it. As he like slowly gets there, as everyone's like everyone in the building is scared. As you hear Annabeth say, "Yeah," and not just a creature who can just take physical attacks. As he freezes like the stomach, as it starts crawling against his body, as like it's slowly uh it goes for like the abs all the way to the torso, to the left, to the other arm that's not frozen, and then it goes like his legs are start to freeze, and then it's just his head, and they both like come up and they say, "And also a creature that is not human." As they both just freeze his face and just slowly engulf it, as Percy and Annabeth both draw back their fist and punch it at the same time in the face as it shatters its skull, like its entire facial structure. As it both like lows down and just looks at him and just says, "Now run." As both of them look at each other, as the black smoke wraps around him and just teleports him. As everyone in the building, except two people, are impressed but a little bit scared. Aizawa is not scared. He's just impressed because he knows these people are abilities, and he's a little bit frightened, but he's more impressed than anything else, and he's very much curious now. And Bakugo is not impressed. He is scared, but he's not impressed. He is fucking angry. Because these people took away his spotlight, took away his hero. He could have done this himself. This is nothing to him. This would have been easy for him. He's the hero. He's the main character. In his head, he thinks this. As Bakugo basically like kind of freaks out in his own head. He's just angry. Like he thinks he is the main character. He knows he's the main character. He has to be the main character. As Kirishima sees this, puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "But whatever you're thinking, whatever you're trying to do, think about it for more than 15 seconds. Don't let your anger control you, mate." As he walks up to the door, who were locked, like puts his entire arm like hardened and smashes through it. As Bakugo kind of starts thinking about all the things that he did in his life, like if he didn't have a strong quirk, would he get away with this? Now, this is twisting Bakugo in something different. He's thinking about all the things that he did, and he's twisting it because of what Kirishima just barely said. He's understanding now that if he didn't have a strong quirk, he would be in juvie, in like in prison, or he would be in like a watch list or something like that, because he has done the most horrible things to people. Like blow off their arms, grabs their clothes, like take girls, men, everyone. He would have been in like a juvenile detention center by now if he doesn't have a strong quirk and people didn't want to give him trouble. because he like the teachers knew he could have been a hero and they want him to be a hero to raise up the school's reputation, and everyone else is too afraid of him to pick up. So he's now thinking in the frame of mind, if I didn't have a strong quirk, will I do this? His now entire mental state is changed. It's slow, and it's like, I gotta process this better. But now, in his ideas, in his book now, he writes down, if I didn't have a strong quirk, could I do this? And if the word, he changes up for like fighting, like practicing, but if it's like actions against another person, if I didn't have a strong quirk, could I do this? If the answer is no, he should not do that. It's slow now, and it'll be processing, but it's there. As everyone gets up and starts like, the cops show up, they start investigating this area because the Nomu, almost entire body is there, and every one of the people are frozen solid, still alive, surprisingly, but frozen. They arrest every 345 of them, 41, 40 of them, and they all go into police custody. And the Nomu is getting like touched up, like trying to figure out what it is, how does it work, and like the body, like what it was trying to do, and its quirks. They figured out with its like super strength and ability to heal, and also like basically like it can take punches, that this was basically there to kill All Might. And if it was against any other hero, it would probably be pretty good. But like if it was against anyone with non-physical attacks, it would absolutely suck ass. This is why it took the frozen thing solely, because it just froze his entire body without him ever having chance to react. So Percy and Annabeth are basically awarded with like praise, but both of them are like, nah, we're good. Like they're like, do you want any medals or anything? Like, nah, we're good. Any like stuff? We think we're good. Okay, shit. Okay. As they head back to their dorms, and Percy and Annabeth head back to the dorms. Everyone else gets picked up by their parents, as Percy and Annabeth are basically alone. And they're saying, and Annabeth is looking at Percy and saying, you know that's not going to be the only attack, right? As Percy's saying, yeah, I know. As you know what we're going to have to do when the kids come in to the world. As Percy looks up, smiling, and goes to Annabeth, rubbing her stomach. And you can see, like, even with her cloak is now, like, over a little bit, so, like, mostly closer to her back, so you can't see it as well. Like, you can see it a lot better. Mostly because her, like, when she wears her cloak around the school, it is covering her entire body. But now it's, like, behind her back, as she's, like, she has a little baby bump. This is not canon, technically, but I am making it canon, and we will figure it out when we go. If I change the lore, it is lore changed. It is canon changed. You see like a little like baby bump as he starts rubbing it and says, I think we're going to have to do some defenses. As Annabeth says, I agree. As this is where we're ending it off, I am telling you now, this might be the end, boys. This might be the end. I'm joking. I'll keep on with this series, but I might do another series with another like topic in mind, because I've been doing this for a while now. Though, if you guys get this to 40 views and 2 likes, I will just instantly post another one. But you guys gotta You guys gotta like this video, and you gotta get everyone, your grandma, your grandpa, your ex-fiance, anyone you know. Hope you guys like the video. Goodbye.